Hi guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and today I'm joined by a very special guest.
Me,
which is translation for Lauren, my girlfriend. Some of you may remember Lauren from, it's been a while since you've been in one of my videos.
Yeah.
Was the last one when I came to visit you, I think?
Yeah,
I
like
think.
a year ago.
But yeah, we are still together, over a year later. And what we're doing is, so when you leave your comments below for this video, can you ask questions to me and Lauren this time? We're going to do a joint Sunday catch-up. I know, it's
Oh my
oh my god. Oh, the only thing we're going with is, please keep it clean. We don't want any weird, oddball... well, I mean, you can if you want, but we just won't answer them. So you'd be wasting your breath. So, polite questions, nice questions, respectable questions, and fun questions. We'll answer those, just nothing too disgusting. But yeah, so tune in next week where you'll see me and Lauren answer the questions. So enjoy this week's video. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and welcome back to another episode of the Sunday Catch-Up, episode 25 I want to say. So we've reached the silver anniversary mark, which is quite the achievement. And of course we're going to get into your questions, but first we're going to do the video recap of the week. So on Monday, I treated you to a little bonus video, which was my top 10 favourite Michael Jackson songs. I hope all you MJ fans enjoyed that one. Then on Tuesday, we had not the Now review, we had sort of a rant complaining video at Now Music, because they didn't release Now Halloween on CD, and they didn't really give proper warning. But don't worry, next week, the following Tuesday, we're going to go back to regular Now reviews. Then on Wednesday we had the latest instalment of Video Scaries, which unfortunately was hit with the famous yellow dollar sign, but it was obviously about smoking and anti-smoking films. And next week we're going to be looking at drug PSAs specifically. And on Friday we had the IDENT review, which was on E4's new IDENT look for 2018. We had like a mix of the colourful, the crazy and the weird, just as any Channel 4 offshoot you'd expect. And of course now we're on the Sunday catch-up, which means we're going to take a look at your questions. Now, the first thing I want to address is a lot of you asked me what I thought about the first episode of Doctor Who Series 11, which was titled The Woman Who Fell to Earth. So for anyone who asked this sort of question, I'm just going to answer this now. I loved the new episode of Doctor Who. I think Jodie is fantastic. She's got the energy, she's got the right vibe for the Doctor, I think. I really enjoyed her performance and I can't wait to see her do more. I think the new companion layout works really well with 3 companions. A lot of people didn't think it would, it'd be too crowded, but they all interplay with each other really well. I particularly like how Ryan's story was handled and great. Well, all of them really, but I think Ryan's was the strongest out of this initial episode. The humour was there, maybe not landing on all cylinders, but it landed for a lot of it. And again, the story I thought was well paced. I like the fact it was a bit slower to get going. We've been introduced to this new Doctor and I can't wait to see what she brings to the table. The new theme tune by Sigun Akinola is fantastic. I love how it echoes the original 60s tune when you listen to it, but it's still mysterious and sinister yet intriguing at the same time. Just what a good Doctor Who theme should be. So yeah, I'd give it a solid... I'd definitely give it a 9.5 out of 10 if I had to rate it. A really strong start, a great start for a new Doctor as well. And obviously it looks great with the new cinematography added to it as well. So yeah, my thoughts are positive. I was debating maybe in the weeks going forward sort of doing a Who reviews kind of show, like give my thoughts on each episode each week. I've debated doing that before. Whether or not I'm actually going to do it is yet to be seen, so I'm not making any promises. If I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. But now let's have a look at the rest of your questions. So firstly, we have Primeval Extra, who says, what do you make of the now 80s and 90s TV channels? Don't really watch them. I mean, they're nice to have on in the background, say if you're at a pub or someone's party, but I wouldn't watch it, you know, avidly. And 2, do you think the BBC should merge BBC 2 and 4 together so they have space to make a new channel? Not really, because I think both channels have their own distinct identities and we don't necessarily need a new BBC channel. Callum McFarlane says, don't worry Adam, your main #1 fan is still here. Fancy a pint at Boat Inn? I like where you're going with this, Callum. Next time I'm around, let's have that pint. Dord Khan, hey Adam, what do you think about Ninja Warrior? Also, should BBC One change their idents? Ninja Warrior's cool, but I find it a bit bland after you've watched a few. And yes, they should change their idents, but whether they will anytime soon, we don't know. A lot of TV idents have a shelf life of at least 4 or 5 years, and Oneness has been around for about 1.5 years, so I think it's going to take a while. Jordan Underwood says, will you do a video of Now That's What I Call Rock and Roll when it comes out? Yes, I will, and I have checked that is apparently going to be released on a CD, so definitely when that album comes out, I will pick it up and I will review it on the Now Review. RexoGamer says, if you want to avoid your vids being taken down, maybe some of them could be put on, say, Vimeo. I did think about this, putting some videos onto Vimeo, but obviously you have to upkeep another social media channel, and it's just something I'm not interested in doing right now, but I might do in the near future if there's a demand for some of my lost videos, as it were, to be seen again. Tim Goodwin says, what do you think of UKIP? Lol, only joking. Oh, thank goodness for that. However, he would like to know, what is the best Saturday morning children's magazine? And have I ever watched Digimon or Big Hero 6? And finally, top 3 David Bowie songs. My favourite of those was probably the ones I grew up with, so that would either be Smile on the BBC or Toonatic on ITV. Have I ever watched Digimon or Big Hero 6? Digimon, no, because I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh kid. Big Hero 6, I've seen the film, I think it's a really good movie, really polished, well-told story, very mature. Haven't seen the series. And top 3 David Bowie songs, I'm not really that big of a David Bowie fan, sadly, so, I mean, my favourite, if I had to pick one, I do really like Ashes to Ashes. Hussein Junaid has a few, saying, what's your favourite TV shows? Doctor Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I thought you'd all know this by now. Have you seen Scarface? Nope. Have you seen Labyrinth? Yes, and David Bowie, there he is again. David Bowie's crotch is quite the centrepiece, shall we say. Synthwolf27 says, do you think that BBC 4 could get a new set of idents? I think they could. I mean, I like the current ones they've got now, which may even crop up on the ident review at some point, but, you know, it's like I said with Oneness, they repeat they'll change them every 4 or 5 years, so we'll see. Harvey Richards says, who was the best Doctor Who? Well, I don't tend to go on terms of best, I tend to go on the one I enjoyed the most, and for me, that was Peter Capaldi. And 2, will you do an episode of the ident review on the BBC 2 Windows of the World ident set? It's in the pipeline, it's coming, I've got a few that I want to talk about, maybe not all of them totally because that would take forever, but there's definitely some I'd like to look at. Joe W97 says, have you seen the Now 100 artwork revealed? If yes, what do you think of it? Yes, I have seen it, you can check it on their website and also like their Instagram, social media channels. It's quite cool, I like the sort of outer space theme they've got going on. I know they wouldn't do anything too drastic with the look of it because the Now look is so iconic, but it is glad to see that we are continuing past Now 100. Chestnut Bloke says, will you do ident review episodes for the BBC One Circle and Oneness idents? Yes, again, I've got them planned, they are in the pipeline, but I want to vary them as much as I can and not just be BBC all the time, which was a constructive criticism point leveled by some of you, but yes, those reviews will come. And 2, what's happened to the BBC One Rhythm and Movement compilation video? Again, like the Casualty one, sadly, it's been blocked worldwide by BBC Worldwide, so sadly you can't view that anymore. I might put it onto Vimeo as someone suggested earlier, but it won't be for a while, unfortunately. Tai Vong says, what is your favourite TV channel to watch? Probably the BBC, mainly BBC One, but any of their channels, BBC 1, 2, 3 or 4. And he says, what US channels idents do you like? I'm not really familiar with that much US TV, but I do like the NBC logo, the sort of multicoloured peacock style. I like the classic HBO logo with the rainbow colours as well. And also the, I think it's CBS with the eye staring down at you, that's pretty cool. Wills the King says, do you like my channel? I mean, yeah, make the content you want, and maybe it's not for me to watch all the time, but if you enjoy making it and there's an audience for it, you keep going. And 2, did you see the 30th anniversary of This Morning, and what did you think of it? I didn't really, I'm not really a fan of This Morning, so sadly I can't comment on that. Ident Man says, what are your favourite American terrestrial idents? Well, again, it'd probably be similar to ones I just said, like NBC, CBS, if you class those as terrestrial. I know HBO's cable. I'm not really familiar with American TV, so I might need to do more education on that. It's the Grass Monster 17 says, I'm missing your old hair. Me too. Daniel Scarlett says, hi Adam, quick question. Have you seen the reboot of CBBC's Raven? He's left a link to an episode. I'll probably watch this later in the week. I haven't seen it. I would be interested to watch it, so thank you for providing the link, and I might be able to get an opinion on it a bit later and maybe even do a review. Dr. Floyd03 has a few. 1. Favourite 5th Doctor story? The Caves of Androzani. And what other 80s albums do you own? Wow, in general? Well, I have a few like just general 80s compilations ones that either friends or family have got me. I've got many albums from the era from various artists like Michael Jackson, Madonna, Bruce Springsteen, all that sort of stuff. I just like that decade of music. The Original Being says, were there any YouTubers that inspired you to make your channel? Not necessarily inspired. I mean, I've always watched YouTube from its early days, but I just one day decided that I want to give it a go. I mean, I started with collection videos and I did quite like collection videos, so maybe some collection YouTubers inspired me, but in all, I just decided to do it one day. Over 6 years ago now. It's crazy. Ninky Nonk 500 says, have you watched the Weakest Link puppet special? If so, did you like it? Yes, I remember it at the time, and it's really fun, just how Anne Robinson gets into it really well, which I think is great. She doesn't take herself too seriously. And all the puppets are great as well. If you haven't seen it, I think it still is on YouTube, so check out the Weakest Link puppet special. It's really quite something. Benny's Random says, what is the worst MCU film in your opinion? Well, the one I enjoyed the least was probably something like The Incredible Hulk or Thor the Dark World, all the ones people say, just because they're not, it's not that they're well-made movies, it's just that they don't contribute that much to the story, or they're just a bit boring. Itoji says, did you know that Sky's Love at First Sight was the first game show format bought by a Russian company? I didn't know that, because I actually don't know what Love at First Sight is. Did you think that BBC 4 will have a redesign in 2019 or 2020? A lot of interest for BBC 4 from you guys. I don't know. If it might do if another channel on the BBC is having a rebrand as well, but it's hard to tell. And thank you for providing me some examples of Russian TV design. I'll definitely check those out. Luke Sheppy says, do you like the new look for E4, More 4, Film 4 and 4 Music? I actually haven't seen the latter three, but I did the IDENT review on E4. I think it's a cool look. You know, it's nice and quirky, it's colourful, it's modern. It's very appealing to the target demographics that it's going for. Archie Bale's Animations and Vlogs says, did you know that the Oneness idents might be gone? Might they? Well, I'll live to see that day. 2. What editing software do you use? Just iMovie. Nothing special. I'm a bit cheap, so I don't pay for editing software, but yeah, just iMovie. And 3. Complete this saying, nice to see you. Nice. Scramble 59, will you do a brief history on the IT crowd? I've never watched it. I really should. A lot of people said I have, but that'd probably be further down the line for a brief history, but I'd definitely check out a few episodes. Time Lord Master 108 has a question as well. Have you ever seen the 1978 animated film Watership Down? And if so, what do you think? Yes, I have seen Watership Down, and it's not for children. It's rated U in this country, which means like anyone under the age of 4 can watch it, or it's suitable for all ages, and it's not. There's blood and gore, there's animals killing each other. It's really quite horrific. It's quite an interesting piece of film history, but definitely very, very gruesome. Bailey the Hoovian Studios also asked about Series 11, which I addressed at the start, but they also say, are you making any new shows for your channel? This is the biggest problem I have. I have so many ideas of stuff I want to do, but because I'm not a full-time YouTuber, because I have a regular job, because I apply for acting jobs as well and just live general life, I don't have as much time to commit to new shows. I barely manage now with the 4 shows a week I do. This one, the Now Review, the IDENT Review and Video Scaries. So there may be like more one-off videos like I did with the Michael Jackson one or the Millionaire 2019, but there are many new shows I'd like to introduce, and maybe it's a case of I may rest one existing show and then start another if you guys are happy with that. But yeah, there's plans for new shows, but you'll have to just wait and see when they come about. And Patrick Canick TV says, IDENT or Sting review on the BBC Two 1997 Stings? Stings are interesting because they're so short, it's really hard to catch them and sort of analyse them properly. I may do a Sting episode in time, but thank you for providing the link to it, and also the link to RTE IDENT, so an IDENT review on that will come sometime in the future. And that is all your questions for this week. Thank you very much for asking them all, and as always, I really appreciate it. Leave your comments down below to ask your questions for me and Lauren, as we will both answer them in next week's Sunday Catch-Up. But as always, thank you for supporting the channel. Please keep checking out the videos, keep liking, commenting, subscribing, share the videos around. Have a fantastic week, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time.